Hello everybody, it's Mike back with a fan cam discussing the weekend's game between West Ham and Liverpool, where West Ham lost 2-0 and comes to an end the unbeaten streak of 3 whole games. So just going to discuss that with you, if that's all right. Before the game, saw the team sheet, which was a surprise to a degree. Well, in a good way, I suppose. Magassa was in the midfield. Obviously, no Somerville again, unfortunately. Still suffering with a bit of an injury. So obviously the left sort of wing area was something that needed to be addressed. So you come up with that by popping Magassa in there alongside Freddie Potts. And then to me, it looked like, can't remember exactly what it looked like on paper, but it was either Fernandez or Paquetá on the left wing, and or number 10 behind the striker. But throughout the game, I felt that they moved around a little bit and there was a little bit fluid in that position. So I don't know that anyone was necessarily given that position as such. But I guess a bit of a headline at the back was the dropping of Max Kilman and Mavropanos coming back in. So before the game, I looked at the team sheet and I was quite pleased with it. I was buoyed by seeing Magassa given a chance, and certainly by Mavropanos. So I think, really, to be fair, it's been decent this season. It's not without having errors, but certainly been decent this season. So yeah, I was quite pleased by that. Obviously, the really sad news of Billy Bonds losing his life, which was that was a sad one. There'd been reports that he hadn't been very well, and you know, when someone of that age is unwell, the chances are that something could happen and they could lose their life. And unfortunately, that is what happened. And Billy Bonds, was a great servant to West Ham. You know, I think he retired when he was 41 or something like that. Great player, manager, managed us for 4 years, I think. So yeah, really sad, proper West Ham royalty, Billy Bonds, and a real shame that he's gone. Yes, shame that is, but there we are. But yeah, game kicked off, and it was a little bit slow. When Liverpool started, I felt that they were flat. They looked like they weren't really. They didn't have much energy about them. They certainly looked a bit devoid of sort of energy. They just looked really flat, and I just thought, cracky, they really are here for the taking. I mean, before the game kicked off, I think they were 12th, if I remember correctly, and I really did think that, although generally speaking, and has come to pass, if you need a win and you're desperate for points, along comes West Ham to gift them to you. But they were there for the taking, Liverpool were, and I felt that as they started the game, they just didn't look like they had much about them. I know obviously they've got, you know, some really quality players, but I didn't feel that they were showing that on the pitch. And the sort of game sort of prodded, each team prodded and poked. We had a few shots, but nothing on target. They had a few opportunities. I felt that in the first half especially, we weren't getting the rub of the green with 50-50 ricochets. I think we were putting in some you know, good tackles, and we weren't really getting the rub of the green of where the ball would go. Felt like it was always dropping to a Liverpool player, and that's just luck. I don't think we were doing anything wrong with that. I just think it was as it was happening. But we sort of coasted through the first half. We made some opportunities for them by our own doing, I think, but nothing really happened of note like that. Areola made a couple of good saves. There was one really good save actually from that Areola made from Isaac, which was pretty much point blank. Really, he made a really good save there. But yeah, I didn't really feel threatened. We went into half time 0-0, and I didn't feel threatened. I thought we could still get something out of it. I felt fine about it really. And second half calm, and much of the same really, but we just didn't penetrate. I felt that we could have been a bit more up for it. We put ourselves about a bit, but I don't think, given what had happened with the news of Billy Bonds passing away, and Bowen did a really good thing before the game. He, took the shirt over to the Billy Bonds stand, and put the first team shirt with his name and a number on, which was brilliant. That was good. But yeah, it was. I felt the crowd could have given more. It's difficult to tell. I'm watching it on the TV, so I wasn't there as such. So I don't know what the atmosphere was like, but it felt flat through the TV. It didn't feel like there was a lot. I would have expected more chance of Billy Bonds' song. I didn't hear much of it. I do wonder if it was because it was a Liverpool game. Were there more Liverpool fans there than what they thought were there, if you know what I mean? I think with games like that, I think you get more travelling fans that are actually from the area. When you got your Man Uniteds and your Liverpools and like that, there's a lot of people in London area that actually support those teams. Have they got tickets for the game? Don't know. Would that have a contribution to the atmosphere? Quite possibly. But yeah, that was my sort of take on that. But yeah, the second half as it went through, and then obviously Liverpool made it 1-0. And Isaac's a good player. Liverpool are a good team. They've got full of good players, but the ball come in. There's a bit of work down there, left hand side, and the ball comes in to Isaac, who's completely unmarked. And I mean, if you've got that much time, you can finish where you want, and he will. He is a good player. I think Fernandes and potentially Mavropanos were there, could have pressed a little bit, got closer, but they didn't. And, it was a good finish, but a relatively simple finish, I think. I think he had all the time in the world to pick his spot and go where he wanted. So that was a shame. So Liverpool go 1-0 up. I still thought we could have done something, but we didn't. Lewis Guilherme come off the bench, I thought was lively, had a couple of good little runs, and then obviously Paquetá does his thing. Now gets sent off. I mean, it's just a daft, it's just a stupid red card. But I think I get to a degree where Paquetá's coming from. He's been on social media saying about what he's had to live with in the last couple of years, and I get that absolutely. But if you're a teammate of Paquetá, he's probably going to gob off, and he ain't going to stop, and the only way that you're going to stop something from happening is to get rid of him, move him away. And I do think nobody took accountability for that. And love Joe Bowen, I really do. Fantastic player for us. He's our most important player, Joe Bowen is. And he's our captain, and he had his hand on his hips. And I just think he really should have taken accountability for it and got rid of him. Or made someone get Paquetá out of it. Just walk him off, walk him away, because he's going to get sent off. And nobody did that, and we just let it happen, and he just gets sent off. And now we've lost him for the Man United game, and I think it's 2 yellows, isn't it? So maybe it's just a 1-match ban. I think it's that way. I can't remember exactly, but he's an important player for us. And on his day, I didn't think he was particularly good yesterday, if I'm honest. But on his day, he's unplayable. But it's just it was an avoidable situation. Avoidable in the sense of, once you knew he'd been booked and you knew he was gobbing off at the ref, you've got to get rid of him. So even if Bowen's struggling to talk to the ref and sort out Paquetá, get someone, anyone, Potts, grab Paquetá, get rid of him, get him out of it. You two, get him gone. He's going to get sent off in a minute. It didn't happen. It's always easier, with hindsight, to say that, or or B, you know, if you're not there at the time, it's easy for me to say, oh, that's what I would do. I'm not saying that's what I would do. That's what needed to happen, and I can only hope that he learns from that and changes it going forward. Because again, like I say, it was an avoidable situation, I believe. So I kind of, blame is a difficult word to use really, because it's not really Bowen's fault, but I do blame Bowen as much as I do Paquetá in that situation, if I'm honest. But yeah, so he gets sent off, and we still had a little bit of a go, didn't we? But Liverpool make it 2 right at the death. Mavropanos, as the ball comes over to Gakpo, is it? I think Mavropanos goes for the header, completely misses it, and it scores an easy goal. Really, Areola didn't have a chance, and it's 2-0, and it feels like 3 points dropped. That sounds daft, but Liverpool were there for the taking, and we just didn't let them take it. I thought they were right. I think we caused situations that they had chances from ourselves. I don't think Liverpool played particularly well, and we've just gifted them 3 points, and they'll go on from this and build on it and do better, I expect. So yeah, really disappointed, really. I did have the ump at the end of the game. It was disappointing, but there we are. I don't think anyone played particularly well. I don't think anyone played particularly badly. There was Mavropanos had his error, but didn't play too bad. I just think we just gifted them, like I've just said. We gifted them opportunities. Areola made some cracking saves. One thing I will say is I do think we're not getting the best out of Bowen at all, and I think that is a real problem. I don't remember Bowen going this many games without getting a goal in recent history, for sure. I know his goal involvements, he's either scoring or assisting, and he's not really doing either at the moment. And I think maybe is that causing a confidence issue? Who knows? But we need to get the best out of Bowen, because he might not be our best player in the sense of technical ability or speed or anything like that, but he's definitely our most important player. He's our most influential player. Bowen can get something out of nothing. I mean, he missed a chance at the end of the game, didn't he? Which, and you know, a fit and firing Bowen buries that, and he didn't. So shame. So yeah, we lost 2-0, and a real disappointment. I think I was disappointed by it anyway, and I'm sure you guys were all too. So that was my take on the weekend's game. Obviously, we've got Man United on Thursday, and let's hope that we can have a bit more of a go at Man United. They're not in the best of form, but they're still doing better than Liverpool were, for sure. Just hope Nuno comes up with some answers, and we get to see a better display on Thursday. But there we are. Thanks for listening. Drop a like on the video if you would be so kind. If you want to pop some hype on it as well, it's always appreciated. And if you haven't, obviously subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date with all the good stuff that Gonzo and the boys come up with. And obviously with Patreon as well. If you've ever thought of doing Patreon, you know, sign up to it. It's only $3.60 a month. It's really good. That's where I started, and I pay a bit more now because I like the content so much, and the boys do such a good job. So yeah, all that stuff. If you want to do any of that, really appreciate you watching. And hopefully Thursday we can have a better result. You never know. Come on, you Irons. See you later. Take care.